This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Freaking.com.
News continues to flow like water from the Brown trial in Concord, New Hampshire. Actually, I should call it the trial of the Brown supporters. Ed and Elaine Brown were tax protesters who holed up in their home in 2007, and a lot of people came to support them. They were eventually caught, and now some of the people who supported them, or allegedly supported them, are on trial for allegedly delivering weapons and explosives, or handling explosive-type devices, to the Browns at their home, allegedly for the purpose of defending the home. First, there are concerns regarding the whereabouts of Elaine Brown herself after she was subpoenaed to testify last week in the trial.
So now that they've produced it, they've edited the video.
Keith Champagne, a Brown sympathizer from Rhode Island, writes on nhfree.com, quote, "Elaine is still listed in transit on the Bureau of Prisons website. I believe she was transferred to New Hampshire on Monday the 31st because she was subpoenaed." Bear in mind that today is April 6th, which would mean it's been 7 days since she was taken from Connecticut to New Hampshire. And I think Keith's message was posted, yeah, it was posted today. Keith says she was told to pack her personals before coming to New Hampshire. Elaine took the stand on Tuesday, which was roughly 5 days ago. Keith also reports that there's been no mail received from Elaine or calls since before she left Connecticut for New Hampshire. Champagne, ever the source of good information, also reports that Ed Brown just ended a 15-day stint in what they call segregation in the prison. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably a little bit like a punishment. He also says Brown has lost his phone privileges for 1 year. And apparently one of the reasons for losing those privileges was because he listened to a recorded message from Elaine, his wife. Champagne is asking for information as to whether anyone's received any mail from Ed Brown recently or managed to get any mail through to him. See the video description on this clip for a direct link to the nhfree.com discussion where you can post any information that you have. Also, Champagne reports that he went to visit the Brown property recently and managed to shoot these photographs showing U.S. government property signs that have been put up. Brown was never the most welcoming of hosts, but he was more welcoming than the federal government appears to be at the moment. Oh, and by the way, I should take that back. Brown was a welcoming host before his house came under siege. By the way, I have a call into the U.S. Marshal Service today, unfortunately Sunday, they may not be in, but I have a call into them requesting confirmation regarding another situation, which is that Brown sympathizer Joe Haas is claiming he attempted to go to court, I believe on Friday, and was restrained for refusing to show an identification or giving a birth date. And I believe he was physically restrained and perhaps pushed back toward the door. I have a call into the marshals about that, like I said, and so we'll see if they have, if they're able to tell me what happened, their side of events. Joe has generally proven to be a reliable source of information, although sometimes his posts are incomprehensible because they're so long and legalistic. However, I've never known him to be inaccurate in anything that he's reported. So we'll just see. For now, that's the only source, however, that I have to go on regarding the alleged hands-on treatment of Joe Haas. This is Dave Ridley about to sign out for ridleyreport.com, but first, actually, I should mention an overview with regard to the trial. The trial, I think, is now in jury deliberation phase. Both sides have rested. 3 supporters of Ed and Elaine Brown are on trial, facing each of them facing potentially decades in prison for allegedly delivering weapons and or explosives to the Browns, tried by the very institution which delivered weapons to Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden, also known as the U.S. federal government. I don't believe Joe is alleging that they harmed him, only that they tried to get him out of the building using their hands, and also either out of the hands or back toward either out of the building or moving him in a certain direction. Also, Joe is reporting that within 15 minutes they had relented and actually let him go to the trial. But I don't know if he gave them any of the information they wanted in exchange. It's my understanding this happened on Friday and that he may be doing something similar tomorrow, Monday, at around 8:30 a.m. That would be Monday, April 7th. Marshals had begun requiring identification about 2 weeks ago as a prerequisite for entry. If you're involved in the Brown supporter trial and they don't know who you are, they have been letting people in for the most part who they recognize. For instance, they told me I could come in without showing an identification, but I never actually went in. If my understanding of Joe's situation is accurate, it could mark a hardening of positions with regard to who gets in and under what conditions. Why do you think that the Brown supporters should be released?
Because they didn't do anything wrong.
One other piece of information to report, Lauren Canario took the stand late last week in the Brown trial, and for an exact account from her, just again view the video description on this clip. She did not take the fifth. The video description will have a link to Lauren's own words. That's it for April 6th, 2008.
FreeKeene.com. FreeKeene.com believes Keene is the best destination for pro-liberty activists like you. Keene is an exciting and challenging ground floor opportunity. Visit move.freekeene.com and read over 108 reasons to move to Keene. Help us free the beautiful little city of Keene from the clutches of the government. Learn why you should move to Keene at move.freekeene.com.